In response to Maliki's coalition, Sadr Alliance reveals the date of completion of the government and the fate of Fayad. March 17, 2019, 14:38. Baghdad Today. Baghdad. Ali Sadoun al-Lami, deputy of the Alliance of Siren, said on Sunday, March 17, 2019, that the statements of the rule of law regarding the failure of the Fatah and other allies to complete the ministerial cabinet are incorrect. Confirming the presentation of the cabinet at the next session, al-Lami told Baghdad Today that the Alliance of Conquest and others reached solutions to the existence of committees that dialogue and meet in order to resolve the issue of ministerial cabaret. He pointed out that the aesthetic and the opening are considered the cornerstone, and most in terms of the number of seats within the House of Representatives, and that understanding among them will reach a satisfactory result. Noting that the statement of state law of failure to complete the CAB is incorrect and for reasons of their own. He pointed out that the members of the House of Representatives are determined to provide the cabinet at the next session of the House of Representatives for the existence of a prior agreement between Tehran and Badr. Noting that Fayad announced his resignation and ended after negotiations and meetings. The differences between the Reform and Construction Coalition on the defense, interior and justice candidates delayed the completion of the government of Adel Abdul Mahdi, which remained incomplete 4 months after giving them confidence. Earlier in the day, the MP of the State of Law, Mohammed Shia Sudani, on Sunday, March 17, 2019, that the Fatah and other coalition failure to complete the cabinet CAB, while noting that there is no movement to resolve the crisis. The Sudanese in a tweet on his account, Twitter, the political understandings failed to resolve the final cabinet cabins, noting, "We did not see any move towards naming the remaining ministers in it." He said he hoped that the final understandings of the opening and the rest of the cabinet, and submit the names of candidates for parliament to be voted on. The Al-Fath and Sultan coalition had earlier formed a 6-member committee charged with resolving the knot of candidates for the interior and defense ministries. This committee was able to hold more than 3 meetings and reached during its discussions to resolve many of the differences on the candidates of vacant ministries. On Thursday, February 28, 2019, Al-Fatah MP Hamd al-Mousawi unveiled new names as candidates for the Interior Ministry in the cabinet of Prime Minister Adel Abdul Mahdi, according to an agreement between his alliance and the alliance, with the service and the other retired. Deputy for the Conquest reveals 4 new surprises concerning the completion of the ministerial CAB. This is what we decided with others and the Kurds. 2019 to 2003-16. On March 16, 2019, the MP of the Fatah Alliance, Hamd al-Mousawi, revealed 4 new unexpected developments concerning the completion of the cabinet cabaret, pointing out that the vote on naming ministers for the interior, defense, justice and education will be in the next parliament session scheduled for March 23. Mousawi said in a press statement that the meetings of the Fatah and other allies are ongoing to discuss the ministerial cabaret, noting that the completion will be presented during the next session of Parliament, which will be held after the completion of the holiday of Nowruz holidays. He revealed in the first surprises about an agreement between the Conquest and the rest of the decision to withdraw the nomination of Falah al-Fayad and provide a figure of specialists in the Ministry of Interior, without disclosing the name of the alternative character. The Kurdistan Democratic Party and the National Union agreed on the Ministry of Justice that the ministry's share of the union and presented 2 candidates for the Prime Minister will be chosen one. As for the candidate for the Ministry of Education, al-Mousawi said in a third surprise, after the information that came about the candidate of education Shema al-Hayali, with regard to the involvement of her brother Laith with Daesh, was judicially confirmed that he was not involved in crimes and is now the subject of controversy. Noting that Shema al-Hayali may return to take the constitutional oath, and while not agreed, the National Axis Alliance offers a new candidate for the Minister of Education. On December 24, 2018, the Parliament voted to appoint Shema al-Hayali as Minister of Education but did not take the oath of office. Following a media scandal involving her brother accused of belonging to a Daesh organization, she resigned at the disposal of Prime Minister Adel Abdul Mahdi. The National Axis is trying to convince the leader of the National Coalition Ayat Alawi to accept Draghi or has put his name to vote in Parliament in a bid did not win the Axis of Alawi's conviction. The reference is trying to pressure the political forces towards the public interest on partisan interests to push the political blocs to give up their ambitions under the name of the election. On Thursday, February 28, 2019, Al-Mawsa'i revealed new names as candidates for the Interior Ministry in the cabinet of Prime Minister Adel Abdul-Mahdi, according to an agreement between his alliance and a coalition of others. While he explained that the candidates are both officers, one is in service and the other is retired. The differences between the Reform and Construction Coalition on the defense, interior and justice candidates delayed the completion of the government of Adel Abdul-Mahdi, which remained incomplete 4 months after giving them confidence. The Al-Fath and Sultan coalition had earlier formed a 6-member committee charged with resolving the knot of candidates for the Interior and Defense ministries. This committee was able to hold more than 3 meetings and reached during its discussions to resolve many of the differences on the candidates of vacant ministries.